Hello dear students, this is Dr. Amita Telang. Today we will continue our topic with operating systems. Today we will see the topic protection. In protection we will see first introduction, then concept, then hardware protection, IO protection, memory hardware and CPU protection. So let us first discuss the process of protection. So what is protection? The protection process is an operating system must be protected from one another's activities. To provide such protection, we can use various mechanisms to ensure that only processes that have gained proper authorization from the operating system can operate on the file, memory segment, CPU and other resources of a system. So let us consider a computer system having multiple users and concurrent execution of multiple processes. The various processes must be protected from each other's activities. So protection refers to a mechanism or a way to control the access of program, process or users to the resources defined by the operating system. Here are some major activities with respect to protection. The operating system ensures that all access to system resources is controlled. The operating system ensures that external IO devices are protected from invalid access attempt. The OS provides authentication features for each user by means of passwords. So these are only some measurements for protection that operating systems that we apply generally using our operating system. Let us move to the concept of operating system, that if a computer system has multiple users and allows the concurrent execution of multiple processes, then access to data must be regulated. For that purpose, mechanisms ensure that files, memory segments, CPU and other resources can be operated on by only those processes that have gained proper authorization from the system. So authorization is the basic need for protection. For example, memory addressing hardware ensures that a process can execute only within its own hard address space. The timer ensures that no process can gain control of the CPU without eventually relinquishing control. Device control registers are not accessible to users, so the integrity of the various peripheral devices are protected. So these are some different kind of protection issues that are concerned with operating system, and they are very general. Now let us see what is hardware protection. To improve system utilization, the operating system begin to share system resources. We already know this thing that one of the major tasks of operating system is resource sharing. One of the major goal, one of the major objective of operating system is resource sharing. So when we are sharing resources, then the danger of unauthorized access is also increased here. So among several programs simultaneously, these sharing both improved utilization and increased problem. This with sharing, many processes could be affected by a bug in one program. In a multi-programming system, one erroneous program might modify the program or data of another program. Without protection against these sort of errors, system will not function properly. These hardware errors are handled by the OS. If the user programs fail in some way, then the hardware will trap to the operating system. So we have to protect our resources from being bugged or from being hacked. Next, IO protection. A user program may disrupt the normal operation of the system by issuing illegal IO instruction. It is very important here that we are working with inputs and output. So we have to protect from illegal IO instruction. So to prevent users from performing illegal IO, we define all IO instructions to be privileged instructions. Thus, users cannot issue IO instructions directly. They must do it through the OS. For IO protection to be complete, we must be ensured that user program can never gain control of the computer in monitor mode. Next is memory protection, very important because everything is stored in our memory. So to ensure correct operation, we must protect the interrupt vector from modification by a user program. In addition, we must also protect the interrupt service routines in the operating system from modification. We must provide memory protection at least for the interrupt vector and interrupt service routines of the OS. And we want our to protect the OS from access by user program and to protect user program from one another. This protection must be provided by the hardware. So this kind of protection is also needed here. Next is CPU protection. In addition to protecting IO and memory, we must ensure that operating system must maintain control. We must prevent a user program from getting stuck to an infinite loop or not calling system service and never returning control to the OS. So we all know that CPU works all the time when till the computer on. So the work of CPU is to process the programs, process the commands. So it must be prevented that a user's program should not stuck in an infinite loop, or it should not call system service and never return control to the OS. Means these kind of situations must be avoided, and to avoid these kind of situations in the CPU, we have to protect our CPU. To accomplish this goal, we can use a timer. A timer can set to interrupt the computer after a specific period. The period may be fixed or variable. The operating system sets the counter every time the clock tick and the counter is decremented. When the counter reached 0, the interrupt occurs. So this is what about CPU protection. In our next class, we will see multiprocessor operating systems. Thank you very much.